This man was more beautiful than woman. He was sneakily putting on makeup. Oh my god, it was so beautiful. Though his son wanted to open a beauty livestream. The father who opened the material arts class was very angry. The son was disobedient, the father could only hit him a few times. Cut paternity. A few years later, the son returned from Thailand. Hair with a bunch of braids standing in front of his mother. The mother who had a serious ill surprisingly woke up. The son became a girl, her name was Kuina. Suddenly Tokyo turned into a city of death. Luckily Kuina escaped to the barracks of the survivors. Everyone must pass the game in order to live. The loser would turn into a pile of rotten meat. Piled up like the mountain in the trash. The difficulty of the game eventually went up to 10. Take a case to make a puzzle. A young woman had a knife stuck in her chest. The killer was a witch. Everyone in there had to find the witch. Threw into the fire to scorch. Otherwise everyone would die. Now the people in the barracks like a snake lost its head. Boss was Hatter, which was lying in the corpse room. The forensic Anne was finding out the cause of death. So Aguni, who used the punch to talk, became the only person with the most right to speak up. He ordered the shooting. They rather kill 1,000 people than leave a witch who was hide in the crowd. Naragi was indeed both gloomy and aggressive. Killed people without blinking. The crowd without any armor immediately fled. Joe searched everywhere as well. Faced with two martial arts guys, Joe gave each guy a punch. Decided to stand up. Joe was dead. A girl holding the gun was very pretty, deadly beautiful. The boy held her waist to dodge bullets. Sitting on the girl then gave a punch. At this time Anne had taken the bullet out. After checking carefully, she and Kuina met each other. Prepare to use 502 glue to get the fingerprint. Because murderer who killed the boss and that girl. Maybe the same person. At this time, last boss blocked the way. Your name was Kuina, right? The person who the man wanted to kill was her. This was a seemingly crushed duel. Last boss who had bald and tattoo. Holding a 40 centimeter long Japanese sword. But the girl in front of him, wearing clothes, was even not 40 centimeter long. But she was not scared at all. A glide to dodge. Next she took off her slippers. She wanted to punch to get the sword. Two people chased to KTV. Last boss unleashed a fatal blow. But she jumped again in the air. This body, oh no, this body was extremely beautiful. Last boss was angry, a slash cut off the wooden table. A kick to the girl. The flickering light, this place turned into a battlefield. Before the war of life and death. Last boss told his secret. He used to a keyboard warrior. Hiding in a messy house. Exploding the anger of himself on the internet. Luckily Tokyo turned into a city of death. There is no binding of law. He shaved his head. Tattooed into a handcrafted item. No one dared to touch him, but he hated this world. Looking at last boss thought himself was cool. She laughed. She used to be a man. Then did surgery. Became a girl with a bunch of braids on her head. But she had learned martial arts when she was young. Her father was a karate champion. Self-taught people like last boss. She could hit up to 10 guys. Last boss fell into a low position, suddenly played badly. He broke the glass. Wanted to stop Kuina from walking barefoot. At the important moment, the KTV rang out a song. So Kuina immediately closed her eyes. She used the breath to felt the wonderful meaning of martial arts. She dodged the sword and attacked. Next was a fierce tilt kick. Last boss fell down, Kuina jumped down from. At the time last boss was captured. Naragi was on the roof again playing a shooting game. Shot one person after another was funny, but he was delighted too soon. A man ran to him. Used a homemade flamethrower. 1 second solved everything. All killers had to be dead. Now just had to find out who the witch was. A beautiful girl had a knife stuck in her chest. Had become a corpse. A lot of red rays were falling from the sky. No one could escape. Game designer set a rule that, or guess who the witch was, or everyone must die. Fighting faction decided to kill everyone. Forced the witch to appear. However, the countdown had ended. Still didn't know clearly who the witch was. Faced with Aguni, everyone realized that maybe he was a witch, but unexpectedly Aguni did not justify. He screamed as well. I was that witch, if you were good, come here. At this time, Arisu came, revealing Aguni's true intention. It turned out that Aguni and Boss Hatter were good brothers. However, in those days of infatuation, Hatter was sunk into a deep pit. Collect all the cards would be saved. Was a trap set from start to finish. In this game I was the only one. Aguni was angry because Hatter was heartless. Hatter believed that Aguni betrayed the friendship. Without saying a word, two of them fought. However, Aguni still alive and realized there were no bullets in the Hatter's gun. He actively sought liberation. So Aguni assumed that the lucky survivor had killed Hatter. He lost his brother. Must drag everyone to die with him. So who was the true witch? Arisu said. If the person set up the game, the ultimate goal was to want to kill everyone. But the only one who had full conditions was that woman. She stabbed herself with a knife. The rest of the people would slaughter each other. At this moment, the girl's best friend burst out. Spoke out her destiny. Her death proved one thing. There has someone behind played the game. They designed the poker game. Then sat and watched every killing scene. And considered it's fun. But if you think this was the truth then you were wrong. When these two people followed the instructions, getting to the secret room, those who sat the game up before had died in front of the screen. Obviously, there still had someone who was more advanced. Aliens or gods. They also didn't know. Thus the movie Alice in Borderland Season 1 was ended. JQK appeared in the city. Next season station. Surely it will be even more attractive and unique.